So yeah, my position is a very simple one. My position is that bodily sensations, you know, are all scripted to your configuration, yeah, to convince the dweller within, yeah, consciousness, God, whatever you want to call it, of the reality of this place, yeah. Essentially, they are hooks to convince your true self, the thing inside of you that powers you, that this experience is real and it's actually participating in this illusion rather than observing it. So when you think about it, yeah, the sensations, reactions, and distractions of the body, yeah, such as itching, pain, hunger, emotion, wanting to fuck everything that's moving, they're all feedback loops, yeah. And they're simply designed to anchor you deeper into the illusion of separation and physicality. These sensations are scripted, almost like, if you like, maybe system messages, yeah, that reinforce the idea that you are a body moving through time rather than the pure awareness observing the body, yeah. So if we try and break this down a little bit further, then we can look at sensations as scripted reality, yeah, because it is, yeah. So think about it this way: when you're playing a video game, yeah, and the character like swats a fly or scratches his face, yeah, or turns when a woman walks past, none of that stuff is real, yeah. All that stuff is scripted to the configuration, the avatar. There's nothing real about it, yeah. So in the same way, when Neo saw the woman in the red dress, yeah, and he turned his head, he had already fallen into the illusion that she was real, even though at that moment in time it was clear to him, it had been told to him that, hey bro, you're actually in a simulation at the moment. But when a woman in a red dress walked past, he turned his head because of his sexual desire, and he had a gun put in his face, right? Okay, so it pulls you into the illusion. Sex is a gateway drug into the illusion, because, and I'm going to get to that, but let me just break it down step by step. You know how we do things. So if we're going to look at sensations as scripted reality, like I've just explained, it's not real, yeah. So every bodily sensation is a signal from the game designed to convince the player, yeah. When I say the player, I'm trying to be very cautious here, because when I say the player, it's convincing the avatar, but the avatar and the player are one, yeah. You get it? Okay, depending on your level of awareness, you're more avatar than player, or more player than avatar, yeah, but it's one and the same. So it's designed to, it's a signal from the game to convince you of the physicality of the experience, the dream, the simulation, whatever you want to call it. These sensations are distractions, right? And they act as anchors to the illusion, much like in a game when you get sound effects or visuals, you know, a health bar, you know, or something, whatever the case may be, which keep you immersed in the game, yeah. Because in actual fact, you don't actually have a health bar in the game. Like in reality, it doesn't mean anything, it only means something to your avatar, right? But when you believe it, it hooks you deeper into the game, so you make choices that center around preserving that illusion, even though it's not real, yeah. The sound effects and all the rest of it, yeah, the visuals and all the rest of it, yeah, is designed to pull you into the illusion. Now, think of something like itching, discomfort, hunger, pleasure, whatever. They're all part of the sensory illusion, and it's created to make the experience feel real. Because without these anchors, yeah, or hooks to the illusion, awareness will slowly start to crack the illusion. When that happens, everything collapses. Yeah. So it's almost like it's almost like a dog came over. It's almost like when, bear with me a second. Yeah, sometimes people, they have too much. You know, without these anchors to the illusion, right? Okay, let me go back there actually. Without these anchors to the illusion, right? To make it feel real, then it's more likely that you will suss out what's happening and lucidity will be achieved, right? And once lucidity is achieved, the game collapses on its face, yeah? So at this point, you gotta realize that stillness has a place. I'm gonna get to the sex thing in a minute. Just take your time. I'm gonna show you. But stillness has a role, yeah? Because when you think about it, as far as stories about this reality go, we've always been told about stillness and meditation, which is the best way of communing with what you are outside of this place, right? Okay. So when you think about it, it's like, no, it's all right. It's like meditation is returning to the core frequency of awareness, yeah, which is stillness, you know, where you remember you are not the sensations, yeah, happening to the body or the body, but the awareness observing all of it, yeah, because stillness is the natural state of your true self, i.e. consciousness or God or whatever, the player, because you kind of need, one second, because yeah, sorry, I had to pick up a call. Because stillness is our natural state, yeah. Because think of it this way, even from a very simple-minded perspective, right? If I'm using a VR set and it's very engaging, part of me has to be completely still. Part of my awareness has to be completely still in order for me to actually fully perceive or get involved in the immersive experience, right? Because I can't be playing a video game and scratching my balls at the same time, or texting somebody, or fucking whatever. It can't happen, yeah? You can't be distracted playing a game, because then it just won't work, yeah? So there has to be an element of stillness in order for the thing to actually carry on. So even from that fractalized perspective, the question is answered, because if we're fractals of the, so obviously you get it, yeah? Because stillness is basically our natural state. So if we look at the stories that have like been told of this place, you know, people meditate and people that have gotten close to enlightenment or whatever, stillness has always been the how do I say it, one of the common denominators, right? Because it's the only state of pure awareness, really, because at that point, movement, sensation, reaction, they're all just stories being told by the mind-body complex of consciousness, and you refuse them, yeah? Including thoughts. You refuse them because you realize that you're just observing them, so you can choose what to observe, right? So there's a reason why dwelling on sensations leads to suffering, yeah? Because when you get too focused, yeah, on physical sensations, they take you out of awareness and into identification with the body, yeah? Just like the example I gave you about the woman in the red dress, yeah? Neo's attention for a split second was, you know, pulled into the physical realm, and there's no she didn't even exist, right? That sensation pulled him out of awareness of what was actually happening and pulled him into identification with the physical frame, yeah, which creates attachment, which is the root of all suffering, yeah. This is facts. Okay. Now, the more you engage with or in the sensations, the more you will get pulled into the narrative of the body, which will keep you locked into the illusion of separation or separateness, yeah? The very thing you're meant to transcend here. So it's like, it's a catch-22. The things around you aren't real, but they're very convincing, and they hook you, yeah? The minute they hook you, they pull you deeper into the illusion, the very thing you're supposed to transcend, right? That's how it works. So when people over-identify with sensations, yeah, whether it's pleasure or pain, it's like getting too deep into the game's mechanics, right? Yeah, think of Neo. At that point, he's talking to the woman in the red dress. He's got a number, taking out for coffee, and blah 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 blah, and all this other shit. Like, you've forgotten that you are the one playing the game. He's forgotten that he's in a simulation, and now he's in a story, like a fully constructed story that's not even real or relevant, right? Now, we have to mimic the player, yeah, and transcend the body, so we need to get to a state where consciousness trumps sensation, yeah. So when you think about it, in gaming, a great player isn't overwhelmed by every little challenge or reaction. They're still, they assess, and they act strategically. Those of you that do martial arts or any grappling arts and stuff like that, that you just can't panic. You have to think even in those very, very crazy moments, right? So it's the same with life, because your natural state is actually still. The awareness behind all the movement, the sensations, and all the distractions and all the other crap that's going on is you, yeah? So when you transcend the body's feedback system, you return to that pure stillness, yeah? And only then can you start to act from a higher state of awareness, right? And not be reacting to all the crap that's just happening around you, because it's just happening. It's designed to do that, yeah? So in summary, bodily sensations are like game modifications, right? They're designed to keep you immersed in the illusion, convince you that it's real, yeah? And stillness, being your default state, is a place where you remember your true nature beyond the body, yeah? You have to return to this state regularly, daily, hourly, yeah? You have to, because what else are you doing with your time? Like, what are you actually even doing? That means you are too immersed in the illusion. This is just a fact, yeah? Because dwelling too much on these sensations just creates attachment, and attachment is the root of all suffering. So you will suffer, you will pay for it, okay? So meditation is dope, and you need to do it, yeah? Whichever way you want to do it, you have to do it. Whether it's breathing, whether it's walking, whether it's even exercise, whatever it is, you need to be still, yeah? You need to find pockets in the day where you're just still, yeah? Even if you're moving the body, there has to be an inherent stillness within you, yeah? Okay. Now, let's go one step deeper, yeah? Because you know how I feel about this Rainbow Brigade stuff, because it's all ego, yeah? I don't give a fuck what nobody says. It's all ego fucking crap, yeah? Let's be real. We're sick and tired of it, because it's distortion. It's not real. Like, it's bullshit, actually. Now, I'm going to show you that identification with gender, sex, and all the rest of it, are the same as, like, the sensations that I just spoke about, yeah? Because gender is also a script for the two kind of expressions of consciousness, being masculine or feminine, yeah? It's an essence. It can't be done away with, okay? So nobody cares about your body, because at this point you have to realize that sex or gender is an essence thing, yeah? You can chop the body to pieces, do whatever the fuck you want. It's an essence. It's almost like a micro expression, yeah? Maybe in terms of biology, look at it as like a pheromone release, or even metaphysically, it's like a energy kind of signature, right? That can't be evaded. So you can be a guy that can go and chop his balls off and fucking go and buy yourself a fucking pair of tits and, shove your fucking balls in the thong. Do whatever the fuck you want. The bottom line is this: you do all that kind of stuff, right? You can do all the makeup and all the fucking injections, do whatever you want. There is a tell that you are actually masculine, and you can't run away from it, because it's encoded in your essence, okay? So when you think about gender and the dual poles of consciousness, right, you gotta realize that gender is actually not identity. So all these people, all these fuckers that talk about gender being identity are just dumb, yeah? It's just facts. You're not intelligent enough, because in actual fact, yeah, gender is architecture, yeah? It's structural, okay? Let me just say that one more time for those that didn't hear me. Gender is not an identity. It's architecture. Okay? So masculine and feminine are primordial poles. Yeah? The one thing has everything encoded within it. Yeah? Its very first, if you want to think of it in terms of like mitosis, yeah, like cell division, yeah, the very first thing it can do is split itself into primordial poles, yeah, north and south, yeah, active and passive, giving and receiving, logic, intuition, yeah. These are energetic essences, not roles, not costumes, not makeup, not surgery, okay? They are primordial poles, yeah, which are all encoded in the one. Because once you get deep into it, you realize that, you know, gender, sex, and orientation, all these are just scripts, bro. It's the same as like, bro, like, we have to be real, you know, at this point in life, yeah, we have to be real and just say it like it is, bro. Like, it's even like all this obsession with like race and shit, bro. It's just a fucking script, bro. Like, what are you even talking about? Like, we've had the same conversations for fucking decades, bro. Centuries, and nothing is, it's a script. It's a never-ending loop. Can't you see? Because the fact that it's a loop gives it away that it's an illusion, because it requires so much energy. You're there fucking defending it, you're there talking about it, you're fucking posting about it, you're fucking wearing flags, you're doing this, you're doing and what happens? It loops you in. Nothing ever gets changed. Nothing changes. Nothing actually fucking develops. Nothing actually gets resolved in the long run, right? So you find yourself in a loop, just re-engaging. So what does that tell you? It's an energetic drain. It's not reality. Oh my god. Anyway, let me focus and let me just fucking finish. So yeah, like I said, so gender, sex, and orientation, they're just scripts, yeah, they're costumes, yeah, worn by the avatar to express these poles in physical form, yeah. So think about it, like me as a player playing Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter can go and pick Chun-Li, yeah. I'm just picking Chun-Li, yeah. She's just it's just a way that the avatar is expressing itself, right? But me, myself, Chun-Li's none of that. It's not actually me, is it? It's all to do with the avatar. Let's assume I'm sexless, I'm just like infinite potential. Like, what does it matter that I picked Ryu, or I picked Ken, or I picked Chun-Li, or Sonya Blade, or whatever? It doesn't mean anything. It's just the way I want to express myself within that game at that time. And I may have my reasons for doing that. Maybe I want to, you know, perhaps use the passive, a passive energy. You know, maybe I want to receive, a receptive energy, or maybe I want to use more intuition rather than logic. Whatever the fuck it is, like, that's the actual bottom line, yeah? Because it doesn't actually go upstairs enough. It doesn't go high enough, yeah, to touch true consciousness, bro. Do you understand? You know? So it can actually be argued, yeah, with a degree of certainty that true and pure consciousness, i.e. pure potential, is actually androgynous. Yes. Because what business has God to do with fucking sitting down to pee or fucking stand up to pee? It's bollocks. God doesn't pee. It's bullshit. It's just fucking physical crap, bro. You know? You understand? Because consciousness contains both poles and flows through whichever one the journey needs in that life experience. Exactly. Just like I might want to fucking pick Chun-Li. Maybe I might want to pick Sonya Blade. Maybe I want to fucking use Sindel. Whatever, right? But that doesn't mean that I am Sindel on the outside. And that doesn't mean I need to go around telling people that they need to be fucking Sindel or whatever. It's stupid. You know? So this over-identification with gender, just like over-identification with the body, is just another anchor into the illusion. You know, it's necessary to experience polarity. Yes, I'll give you that. But it's not who you are. So this whole thing, like, it's who I am, and you're dumb. You don't even know what you're talking about. You're talking about your asshole, literally. You know, like, nobody cares, yeah, whether you're gonna rub your mouths together or if fucking gonna put your dick in someone's butt. Nobody cares, bro. That's actually the facts. Nobody cares. Nobody cares how you feel inside, and nobody cares. Only you care. And you've blown up that illusion to such epic proportions, and you found resonance, yeah? And reflections that kind of mirror the same thing, and you think that it's so important. I swear to you, bro, nobody gives a shit. It's facts. You know, so really the best thing you could do is you need to ignore the physical and detach from the stage noise, bro. Real life. Because the stage, yeah, i.e. the world, or in fractalized form, the body and the roles, is a theater, yeah? And all the noise, right? Like the looks, the habits, you know, the opinions, identities, urges. It's just background noise. It's just chatter of the simulation trying to keep you immersed. Yeah, like, oh, you know, you're this. Oh yeah, you're being the. You do. It's crap, bro. It's crap. It's crap. It's crap. It's crap, bro. It's just noise, bro. You know, transcendent doesn't mean hating the body, yeah, or denying gender. No, it means you understand it's not you. So if it's not you, why are you so wrapped up in it? Like, the other day, yeah, the other day, my brother sent me this video, yeah, of a guy dressed in a dog costume at some dog show, like a dog show competition thing, and he was doing like a roll, like a, you know, like a dog roll type thing, and people were clapping for him, and I was like, look at the levels of madness people have gotten to, because he's identifying with the animal. If you actually knew the truth, you know that he's not even the body. So then why would you even go as far as doing that stupid stuff? Do you understand me? Like, it seems like I'm being abrasive, but it's not abrasive. It's not abrasion. It's actually facts. It's actually truth, because it's nonsense. Do you understand? Like, you know, just, I'm going to go off tangent slightly. Think about wild animals, yeah? Or even dogs, yeah? I'm just looking at a dog just now and it gave me the idea. Like, how can you tell, like, a Doberman, like, of course there's the physiology, yeah? The nipples and the fucking sex organs, right? But when you look at them, just how they don't care about these things. It's not, they don't obsess about it, because they know that they are just consciousness experiences, their bodies, that's it. That's it. That's the suit I'm in, that's the costume I'm in, this is the world I'm locked in, I'm just experiencing. All animals do that. But we just want to play some dumb game. But anyway, let me just focus and let me just not fucking, yeah. Anyway, so like I said, transcendent doesn't mean you're hating the body or denying gender. It just means that you understand that it's not you. The real you is behind all that noise, yeah? So when you don't get pulled into the noise, and the chatter and the crap, you start acting instead of reacting. And if you look at it, if you pay attention, most people in those sorts of worlds, they're reactive, which means it just tells me that they're an ego. They don't act. They're just reactive to crap, yeah? So awareness is not leading, it's their bodies that's leading, yeah? Now, let's actually look at it this way. The mind-body complex, yeah? I look at it as a console, yeah? Wherever this thing is, yeah? And the software. Because in terms of like gaming analogy, yeah? The body will be the avatar / controller, the tool through which input is received and action is made, yeah? And the mind is, but there's a delay, there's a lag, yeah? We've spoken about this. And the mind is like the software / interface, yeah? This is where the set of rules, language, memory, belief systems, conditioning, blah, 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 all the stuff exists, yeah? It kind of mediates what the avatar sees and interprets, yeah? Remember we spoke about interpretation, yeah? So the mind itself is what you're in. The mind is not in between your ears. You are in the mind right now. Okay, one day you see. Now, consciousness, being the player, is the observer who experiences the game, but it's not of it. God is not here. Okay? So the question is, where is observation happening? Like I told you, it's not in between your ears. It's actually happening through the mind, yeah? Through the thing that's in between your ears. The true you is outside the interface, watching, observing, yeah? The I am watches thought, it notices sensation, it can even see the mind trying to narrate reality, right? That is awareness, untouched, unbothered, and still. That's the realness of the whole thing, you know? And what we want to avoid is the trap of identification, yeah? Because the mind will constantly ask, who am I? and then tries to answer with roles, yeah, be it gender, race, beliefs, trauma, success, whatever, my car, my job, my fucking dick, fucking boobs, or whatever, yeah. But the true answer can never be found in that question, because awareness doesn't need to be identified. It can't be identified, in fact, because it just is. Okay, cool. So gender, pain, and even personality, they're just filters you wear temporarily. They can help guide your path through this incarnation, if you like, but none of them are the source of you. So don't identify with those things, bro, because it's not you. So yeah, gender is not identity, it's polarity. It's an expression, it's not a definition, yeah? And I know this sounds like a contradiction, because then it's like, well, if it's an expression, not a definition, then I can express however you want. You can do what the fuck you want, but if you're over-identifying with the body, then you will be over-identifying with sex, bro, and gender. Yeah, facts. The mind-body complex is the game engine, and you, the player, observe through it, but you're not from it. Yeah, and stillness is your true self. So to live consciously is to watch the character move whilst knowing you're not it, because the decisions have already been made. Yeah, your choice is to how you experience this place. Now, let's talk about the woman in the red dress and the sex question. Now, the woman in the red dress is the ultimate distraction. Yeah, she wasn't real, like I said, she was code. Yeah, a program inserted into the illusion for one purpose only: to hook Neo's attention and pull him deeper into the dream, and remind him that even in awakening, the traps of the flesh still remain. Yeah? She wasn't the point. His reaction was the point. Yeah? Okay. So from that, we can now look at sex as a system hack. Yeah? So sex in the Matrix is masturbation of the senses, whether it's solo or shared. Yeah? Because all sex is masturbation. I don't give a fuck what you say, bro. Facts. Yeah? It's not wrong, though. Yeah, but it is a loop. It's like, think of it as a chemical carrot that's dangled in front of your avatar or our avatars. Yeah, because think about it, the act itself lasts minutes, but the aftermath, right, lingers, like sometimes even for life. Yeah, think about this, bro. The act itself is like mere minutes, bro. Sometimes seconds. Facts. But the aftermath, it just goes on and on and on and on and on. Again, that tells you it's a loop. It's an illusion. Because why? It can show itself as emotional entanglement, craving, addiction, ownership, fear of loss, guilt, pain. All this crap from this fucking thing that took seconds to just... It's crazy. You know? So think about it, yeah? Because, like, if pleasure is fleeting, yeah, which it is, but the cost is endless loops, then how pleasurable is it really? Like, is the nice, oh, it's so good, so amazing, but the cost is like fucking mortgage prices, bro. Then where's the pleasure? There is none, you know? Because you gotta look at it like, the body is the bait, really. It's like bait, isn't it? Because the construct uses the body to anchor consciousness. Yeah, it is the way without the body we can't be here. Yeah, the body allows for contrast. Yeah, separation. Yeah, so we can experience what it's like to experience ourselves in our own mind. Yeah, so sexual desire is coded stimulus, just like hunger or pain. Like, it's scripted. Yeah, just like hunger or pain, or a scratch or an itch or whatever is the same. Yeah, but the more you identify with the body, the more you are distracted from awareness. It's almost like a 1-for-1. Yeah? So the woman in the red dress isn't about sex, it's about seduction into the illusion. Yeah? So naturally, what am I saying? If sex is masturbation, whether solo or shared, you know, and sex is like a hook into the illusion, then what about relationships? Are they sacred, or are they also scripted? We explained back along in the fucking Conscious Love mixtape series, you know, when I told you that you gotta realize that love is the shit, it's a shared connection with your own self. Yeah, so real love transcends the form. Yeah, you see the thing inside of them, you don't see their body. Yeah, They can be ugly as fuck, or they can be fucking stunning. You don't even see the body, you see the thing inside of them. Yeah? Do you understand? Okay, so then that then answers the question, because real union it's not about skin. It's about resonance of essence. Do you understand? It's a deeper resonance. It's got nothing to do with skin. Do you understand? So when two beings or two reflections meet in awareness, I'm gonna start walking now. The body becomes, it's simply like a vehicle. It's not the destination, bro. But what do we see with most relationships? What the fuck, man? Always some background noise, man. But what do we see with relationships? Codependent loops, contracts. Fuck you, pay me. Attachments, yeah. Echo chambers of trauma. That's not real. None of that. If you're in a codependent loop, a contract type fucking loop, attachments, a trauma bond type thing, that's not real love. It's not a real relationship. Yeah, I'm just keeping it 1,000. Okay, they're not wrong either. Yeah, but they're just not real. Yeah, and they are not built on truth. The foundation of those things is not truth, because it's not real. Yeah, so from that perspective, we can look at something like we can look at the numbers. Yeah, because I did a little bit number crunching today. If I'm wrong, somebody correct me, but I'm pretty sure I'm not wrong. So let's say the average person has sex once or twice a week. Yeah, average, and each time, let's say, is between 5 to 20 minutes on average. Yeah, we're taking averages here. Yeah, so that works out to be something like between half an hour and an hour each week. Yeah, or 0.4% of your time, which means that 99.6% of your life, yeah, is spent not doing the thing we obsess over the most. Yeah, so why does it dominate advertising, art, culture, yeah, music, fucking entertainment, and self-worth? Why? Because it's the perfect illusion. It really is. Because it's a brief chemical high followed by a lifetime of chasing the ghost of it. The perfect illusion. Yeah, you're gonna have the perfect high. That's why I tell you, it's a drug. The perfect high, but you'll never be able to, for the rest of the time you're entangled in this thing and you're fucking chasing it. Yeah, so yeah, that's what it is. So sex is not evil, but it's a loop. Be aware of that. Yeah, if you're aware that you're not your body, you see it for what it is. Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I'm not some preachy person, bro. I done my thing, bro. I was just as fucked up. You know what I mean? I did it. Yeah, I did it. Yeah, in capitals. Okay, I did it. And I still fall fucking from time to time. It's just the realness of the game. I'm not even gonna front, but I see it more, you know, and I'm more conscious how I live and how I interact and how I share my energy and shit like that, you know. So, but I really need you to recognize that, you know, it's not evil, but it's definitely a loop, a very expensive loop. And by loop, I mean illusion. Yeah, because what's a loop? It's a cul-de-sac. It's a side quest. Yeah, you're looping within that. Because, like I said, you're gonna have this pleasure, then fucking you're gonna spend the rest of your time in fucking like some emotional entanglement. Like, all right, don't take my word for it. Yeah, say you go and fucking link a girl or fucking you meet a guy, whatever the case may be. Yeah, because we're real people here. And like you start fucking dating, and then the minute sex gets involved, yeah, now you start to, it goes past that. Now, you know, there's emotional entanglement. Yeah, you have to be like, you're talking about, you're spending more time together, you're talking about, you know, it's almost like it's implied. Yeah, it's almost kind of like, I don't know how to even explain it. It's like you become distracted from your own mission just because you're doing this thing with this person, because now you become this emotional kind of like crutch for this person, and then you have to spend time together, because if you don't, there's a fucking implication, or it means something, or it's like, oh, you don't spend time. Crap. Do you understand? Do you understand? It's true. It's literally true. Because the aftermath of fucking sex, it just lingers, bro. You know, the entanglement, and then you're craving. It's like, oh, I miss you, come and see me. You know, then there's the addiction, then there's the fucking, you feel like you own them, so they shouldn't go and do this. We have to be excluded. Why are you talking this about? You know, you're afraid you're gonna lose them, and then the guilt, and the bro, it's a fucking loop. All these things I'm talking about, it's like, think of it like almost like in a network. You become isolated from reality, and you're looping around in this thing just because of that thing that you did with that person, and you're both in that fucking mix, you know. And if you're going to go one step higher and realize that you are consciousness having a human experience, yeah, and you know what's actually going on, you're looping around with the lady in the red dress. That's just the facts, bro. You're looping around with the lady in the red dress in a cul-de-sac. What's the point, bro? Relationships should transcend relationships should transcend sex. It should transcend sex by, you know, sex is just a thing, like a, it shouldn't be the focal point, the centerpiece. You know, yes, there's a season for it, yes, there's a time for it, there's a need for it in certain situations, you know, but it shouldn't be the focal point, because it can be very costly. But the point is, if you actually transcend all the material stuff, then really you will be doing things consciously anyway. Yeah. So like I said, sex is not evil, but it is a loop, you know. And the woman in the red dress is a mirror. Yeah, she reflects what pulls you back into the script. Yeah. So if you want to be free, then you need to ask yourself, am I watching a program, or am I just reacting to it? Yeah. And if you apply that to every moment of your day, life will be pretty chill, bro. Because if the lady in the red dress walks past, you will ask yourself, am I watching a program, am I reacting? And if you feel this pull towards her, I want to go, I want to fuck her, you are reacting to it. You're in the illusion. But if you're watching it, then you see it for what it is. And if it's meant to be, i.e. because the choices have already been made, you don't have to lift a finger, okay? So that's just the truth, bro. And finally, really and truly, sex is masturbation, because after all, you're doing it with your reflections anyway. You're just playing with yourself, literally and cosmically, yeah? Because every conversation, every temptation, every red dress is just you meeting you in a different costume. When I say you, people still can't shake the physical side of it, man. But eventually it'll come. You're the wind, man. You're the sky, you're the sun, you're the moon, you're all of it, all everything. You're just using contrast to experience it as the sun and the moon, but you're all of it at once, yeah? Maybe when you die, you see it, yeah? Or maybe you get it before then, but either way, you will get it. So, yeah. The Matrix wasn't lying when it said that, you know, do you think that's air that you're breathing? It wasn't a lie. It was actually a very, you know, profound statement, yeah? This is the divine loop. The observer testing itself within its own projection. So yeah, feel free, man. If you're gonna loop, bro. But just loop consciously. Laugh at it, man. Dance through it, transcend it, then jump back in for the fun of it. But always make sure that you are watching it, not reacting to it, yeah? Realize what sex is, yeah? Watch it, don't react to it, okay? And above all, just be real, bro. Alright? Don't obsess over the body and all that stupid shit, bro. And sex and gender and fucking race and fucking stupid crap is stupidness, bro. You're not the body, bro. You drop it, bro. You drop it like nothing, you know? And then what if they go and put you in a fucking different body, yeah? Then what are you gonna say then? It's dumb. It's dumb. Don't waste your breath, bro. You're not better than anybody. Nobody's better than you. You're all the same. You know, you all have your fucking nuances and your own stupid stuff that makes you you, but it's just you, bro. So just be real, man, and just enjoy life, you know? It's meant to be enjoyed. It's meant to be enjoyed. But yeah, but masturbation is not really enjoyment because it's very expensive, okay? Just know that.